Sasha, thanks so much for joining us. It's awesome to have you here on Pure Country.
Thanks for having me, Rue.
Now, Standards getting a lot of attention, such a fun song. Tell me about this track.
Well, this track is it's a game changer for me. The song was written by Emily, Karen Kazowski, and Mackenzie Porter. And when I first heard it, it hit me right away. Like, it was like, boom. I was like, this song resonates with me in so many ways. And I know that it will resonate with others. And it's about having standards. And, I don't know if it's a message that's been out there, on country music yet. So I'm happy to be maybe the first to just say, hey, have standards and value yourself and find someone who values your standards. If that all makes sense.
Now, 2020 been an incredibly challenging year for so many people in so many different ways on every front you can imagine, yourself as well. But you've found ways to still turn it into what you've been calling the year of a million dreams. Now, explain that to me.
Yeah, like it's just crazy because it could have very well turned out to be a catastrophe for me, and unfortunately, it has been for many. And I'm, it's not hard to celebrate my success knowing that so many people are going through tough times. I get that, but it could have been the same for me. And in fact, it's just turned out like the music, my EP came out. I shot a music video just before COVID. Had no clue that was even coming. Thankfully, the music video was done. And then there was a couple delays. Like, it wasn't just all, sunshine and roses, but there was quite a few delays. And releasing an EP that's been 2 years in the making, and then a pandemic hits, and you're like, what do we do? But we just did it anyways, and I put the EP out, and this whole online world supported the release, and phone call after phone call and interview after interview, and here I am today. And it's been a really good outcome.
Tell me about your family, because they're musical too, right?
Yeah, growing up, I grew up in a small town and in Warkworth, Ontario, for anybody that may have heard of it or drove in through it, literally, because it's like maybe 600 people population. My parents were musicians. There was musicians in the house all the time. There was every instrument in the home. My parents were in bands, and sometimes we get to go to their gigs up at the Royal Legion. I remember one of those shows up behind our house that we got to go to, and it's just been music has been ever present in my life from day one.
You've done a lot of speaking as well, particularly in schools. What's your connection or passion for that?
Well, quite a few years ago, I wrote a song called Sticks and Stones. And my passion when I write songs is always, for the most part, inspiring other people. And so this song actually took on like a kind of like an empowering anthem, an anti-bullying kind of anthem. And it was definitely suitable, a suitable message for the schools and the younger demographic. And so just shared a bit of my story and with music and engaging, a young audience and having that opportunity to deliver a message, and deliver hope is what sparked my passion for, singing and speaking.
Now, as we discussed, 2020 been, a challenging year for some people, but a pretty landmark year for you career-wise. What's next for 2021? What are we looking down the barrel at for you next year?
Well, you know what? There's a lot of exciting things that I'm probably not at liberty to say yet. I'm looking forward to getting out some more new music, sharing more about my personal story, and oh God, hitting the road, getting on shows and getting it, out in front of people and hopefully actual meet and greets again. So.
Yeah, how challenging is it when you're a natural born performer and you can't get in front of people? That's got to have been a lot this last year, right?
It has been a lot. I've had to do a few live showcases where your audience is pretty much through a lens, and I did have the opportunity to open up for Dean Brody on a few drive-in shows, Toronto and Ottawa. It's interesting. I just can't wait to be able to just really truly engage with it, with an audience, and not just say bye after the show and not be able to see them afterwards, because that's the reward, is actually seeing them afterwards, so.
Right on. Well, thank you so much for making the time to speak with us today. And I know that 2020 is going to be an excellent year ahead for you. And I wish you all the best. So appreciative of your time.
Thanks so much for having me.